Just waiting for Facebook. There's Facebook. Awesome. Good evening, everybody. Another day, another live video. I'm 2 for 2 so far. I get 5 more to go after tonight. This is a week-long challenge from my friend Adam Shively, the Million Pound Mission, and I am trying to be very good about getting on Instagram live every day. It's awesome. There's a bunch of people joining right off the bat. Good stuff. So what did I want to hit on today? Well, I have been dealing with sciatica for the past several months, years actually, for different reasons, sparked by a car accident and then other stuff just from being on planes and not being careful with my body all too often. And so as a result, I have decided I'm going to see a chiro who is highly recommended by a friend who also dealt with a lot of sciatica and faced not being able to run or do the things he loved. And he's like, you got to go see this guy. So I've been seeing this guy, Michael, and he's been talking to me lately about needing to not cut back on my running, which is really interesting. I was expecting to be like, oh, you got to stop running for a while. But he's like, you got to slow down. You got to slow way down. And we got into this whole discussion last time and then this morning about the need for me to slow down, but not to stop. And it's interesting because usually when I've needed to get help for some kind of physical issue, they've always been like, oh, you got to stop running or you stop doing whatever. And he's like, well, that's kind of counterproductive because then your problem is probably going to go away, but you won't really know whether it's truly gone away because you're not still testing it. You're not keeping yourself fit. You're not pushing your body in ways it needs to be pushed. But knowing you're probably pushing it too hard. And it brought me back to my marathon training days when actually the hardest part of the whole training was the idea that I'd have to take a couple of days off. So I'd have my recovery day where I literally had to do nothing. But then I had one day a week where I wasn't allowed to run. So that was a huge transition for me, this notion of, like, especially on the recovery day, not doing anything. As a former obese person, the idea that I wouldn't be working out was just like, it was scary, to be honest. But what we talked about was, I have the ability in my commute to go different distances. And I was like, one of them that I used to do pretty regularly was 6 miles. And I was like, every step on my left leg, I'm in pain. And the idea of going for 6 miles is exhausting. Like I ran 3 miles on Sunday this weekend. It was really hard. Like physically, cardiovascularly, respiratorily, muscularly, I can do it. That's not the problem. But it's so draining. It was such a slog and it just seemed like it took forever. That was just like too much for me. And so the idea of going twice as far, really, really too much. Kim Sutton, great point. Pushing too hard sounds like a common trait of the unretirables. It's an awesome group that Kim started that I was lucky enough to be in. And yeah, we all pushed ourselves too hard too often. But what the chiro was saying is like, actually, if you could do 6 miles, that'd be really good. And I was like, wow, not what I expect him to say. He's like, but here's the thing. What do you run speed-wise? And I was like, 8 to 8.5 minute miles. I'd say 8.5, but I look at my watch and I find when I'm outside, actually, I'm closer to 8. And he's like, that's too fast. He's like, that may not be fast for some people, may not be fast for you, but it's too fast for what you need to do. You need to slow it way down. He's like, you should be running like 10-minute miles. And I was like, 10 minutes, like it feels so slow to me. It feels uncomfortable. It feels weird. Like I feel like I know, like I have to force myself to go that slow. And he's like, but here's the thing, that duration, that movement without the speed actually will tone your body, will build the things you want to build without impacting the things that you're trying to be careful about now. And getting yourself going for that long has a lot of other benefits. And he's right. Like I remember when I was really in the heart of the marathon training, 8 miles, 10 miles was really nothing. Like that was so short versus the 20 miles that I was running other times. An 8 miler was like, yeah, no big deal. I go bang that out. Wouldn't really think about the time. Now it's like that 3 miles took 25 minutes. And I was like, phew, it's a long time. It really isn't. But my mind's adjusted. And of course, every step being one where I'm consciously having to live with that pain and deal with it, it makes it feel like it's taking a lot longer. But I got his point. And So actually, the 3 miles didn't take 25 minutes. It took a little bit longer than that. But what it took was like an 8:47 mile, which is, about 47 or 45 seconds slower than most of the outdoor runs I've been doing lately. And I did a mile on the treadmill, I think Friday night or maybe it was Saturday, I don't remember. And I did that close to a 6-minute mile, which is 10 minutes. Sorry, not a 6-minute mile, 6 miles per hour, which is a 10-minute mile. And I wasn't in pain. It was a little bit awkward for the first maybe quarter of a mile, but then it was all good. Hey, Glenn, good to see you on. But I got his point, and it hit me. And so now I'm starting to think about this idea that, I did not come up with the phrase, but do you need to slow down to go faster? And that's really the message he's given me. It's not stop, it's slow down. So slowing down a bit so that you can get yourself to go faster. And I got to put in that slower work to get to a place where I'm ready to go faster. Emilio Rodriguez, big fan, not from country. What's up, man? Good to see you on here. Love the big fans from anywhere. Yes, Kim Sutton, it is a huge message, and it's a simple one. And the thing is, I think we all know it. Like I said, I did not come up with this phrase at all. Go slow to go fast. But it is really true. And this was such a tangible incarnation of that message for me. So I felt like I had to share it. Yesterday, first day of this 7-day Instagram live challenge, I posted a video with my car in the background and kind of talking about, as a car guy, not having this like high-end luxury or super sporty car, and like, is that incongruous with who I am? And it just made me reflect on like, okay, look, my values are different. And anytime I got someone at work who's like, you're going to, before the end of the year, you're going to end up getting some new car. And I was like, no, I'm not, because I like my savings account. I like not having a car payment. And I actually like my car, even though it's, maybe more basic, or like someone was like, oh, that's what you have. I have no problem with my car. I like my car very much. But I think if this was like 10 or 15 years ago, that comment would have really stuck with me, and I would have been thinking about getting something else. I'm always curious about other cars, but I'm not looking to replace it because I'm happy with what I've got. And it made me reflect on my own values and where I'm at with them and my own comfort level with myself. So I didn't need to push to get something external, something material, to feel better about myself. And so it's like, look, second day of these Instagram lives are kind of feeling like they're these tangible reminders of these age-old bits of wisdom that I keep finding in everyday life. And I think, at least for the first and second day, that's what I've been sharing. I would love to continue on that path because I think it's really useful stuff. And I think we all have these reminders every single day in our lives if we choose to see them. So my car yesterday, my chiro making me feel quite a bit of pain this morning. But it's good pain. It's pain I needed to feel, but man, did that hurt. But bring me back to that idea that, look, I got to slow down if I want to speed up. And I do want to speed up one day. And I do, want to get back to doing another marathon, lots of other things. But beyond just the physical stuff, there's so many things I want to do. And if you try to do them all at the same time, you're not going to achieve any of them. You got to push some things out. You need to focus on what really matters, even if it feels like you're slowing down, because without that, you're not actually going to achieve. So that is the message for today. I love how much engagement there is on Instagram right now. Hello to everybody. Awesome to see you guys here. Here's one. Everyone change, and for the best, keep being who you are. World needs more of this truthfulness. Totally. Thank you for that. So listen, challenge yourself. Think about it. Where are you pushing yourself too hard, moving too fast, or trying to move too fast? And is that costing you the speed of your life that you wish you had? Or the achievement? It's not really about speed. It's about what you're achieving, right? Where are you holding yourself back because of that? That is the challenge for today. Think about it. That's awesome, Kim Sutton. She's been keeping her comments to herself to not distract me. It is very distracting, but I like seeing it. And it's weird because I'm doing this on multiple platforms. I'm trying to look at Instagram, get Facebook back there, and I'll post this to LinkedIn and YouTube later. And for people on those platforms, are like, who are you talking to? What are you looking at? I'm trying to look at everybody. But that's maybe to the point, right? Still trying to go too fast. And I need to slow down. Pick one camera, stick with it. Don't get distracted, and have a better video. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. Go reflect. Hit me up in the comments. I want to hear where you think you've been going too fast and where it's been costing you. And how are you going to slow down? That's what you really got to ask yourself. How are you going to turn down that treadmill, slow down your pace, go at a more appropriate speed to actually achieve what you're trying to get to? I promise you, in the end, you'll end up being a heck of a lot faster than if you just try to go fast right now. All right. Good night, everybody, unless it's not nighttime for you. And then good afternoon, good morning, whatever it may be. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one. Bye-bye.